channel. You know I got to thank you for being here because you could have been anywhere else on the internet, but you're here with me and I appreciate that. Please take this moment to like this video, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that good stuff. As always, we're going to start the video off with some words of gratitude. We are so happy and grateful that we woke up this morning and we have breath in our bodies, that we are alive. We are so happy and grateful now for the nourishment we will receive today, for the hands that will prepare that nourishment, and for the benefits that that nourishment will contribute to our health. We are so happy and grateful now that we have good health, strength, knowledge, wisdom, beauty, keen discernment, patience, confidence, talent, skill, courage, leadership, youth, control, melanin, creativity, and competence. We're so happy and grateful now that we have a roof over our head, shelter, transportation, resources, equipment, relationships, experiences, knowledge, all the things. So happy and grateful now that we are loved, respected, supported, and admired. So happy and grateful now that today is going to be a great day. It is a great day. Great things are happening to us. Great things will continue to happen to us. So happy and grateful now that we are deserving of everything. Beacons of confidence, happiness, and success. So happy and grateful now that we are put in a position of power to allow others to develop their leadership skills and for us to develop our leadership skills. We are so happy and grateful now that we are alive. We are just existing on this planet, in this reality. We are beacons of confidence, happiness, and success worthy of infinite abundance. All right, I'm gonna put a pin in it there. You can always go on and on and on about, what you're grateful for. But I do that to share a foundation of things you can use. There are way more things you can name in regards to what you are grateful for and what you would like to continue to show up in your life. But please use that as a reference. Today, we're talking about it's coming. It's coming. For those who set goals, for those who strive for more, they want to achieve more out of life, for those who are saying, I want this, it is coming. I'm telling you, you got to stay consistent. That's one of the components of the cheat code to manifestation. I'm sweating because I just jogged a mile, just finished jogging a mile, but I want to let you know that it's coming. Do not give up right now, because you're going to be mad you give up and then somebody else get it that wasn't working as hard as you. So you got to outwork everybody. You got to outsmart everybody. They say work smarter, not harder. So in that case, how can you work smarter? You got to make sure you have goals. You got to make sure you have a strategy. Keep going. Stay consistent. By the way, welcome to the 759 channel. If you don't know what 759 stands for, these are three numbers that encompasses basically all you need to do in order to be successful in life. So you have the 7 key areas of life. It's mental, physical, spiritual, relational, social, career, and financial. You have the 5 components of the cheat code to manifestation. The 5 components to SMART goals. That spells out the word SMART. That's specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound. And then lastly, you have the cheat code to manifestation, the 9. And that's vision, patience, passion, focus, action, belief, gratitude, confidence, and consistency. From there, you do all of those things. You have all of those things. You can get almost nearly anything you want in life. So with that, I want to share with y'all what this breakdown means. So when I say it's coming, if you have your goals written down, if you have these, it's coming. It's on its way. So you focus on the 7 key areas of life: mental, physical, spiritual, relational, social, career, financial. Let's take mental. The mental key area of life, you said SMART goals in those. Well, what's the difference between a goal and a SMART goal? A goal is more of a wish. You know, I want to travel this year. That's a goal. What's a smart goal? I want to travel to Rio de Janeiro by July 31st. Good morning. I want to travel to Rio de Janeiro by July 31st for 4 days. And I need to save X amount of dollars in order to make this happen by May. So you're being very specific. You're able to measure it because you're saying you want to do something by May. Let's say the amount is $1,000. I know it's not. I wish it was. Say the amount is $1,000. A lizard. So you say, okay, how much do I need to save? It's $250 every month until May, and I'll have the 1,000 to order the ticket for July. But you have to be able to be specific. You can't just say, I want to travel. That's so vague. It's like where, when, how. Do you want to go by bus? Do you want to go by train? Do you want to go by plane? You know, do you want to go by car? Like, you know, so be specific. And then you set the goals within each key area of life. You set SMART goals in each key area of life. And then after that, once you have that out the way, you start to apply the cheat code to manifestation. Patience, passion, focus, action, belief, gratitude, confidence, consistency. You apply that to every goal that you have in each key area of life. You can set yourself up for the next 30 years using this formula. Instead, people want to complain about it and say stuff like, it's too long. I'm like, well, I can see why you have a problem with self-image. I can see why you are, self-conscious. I can see why you are out of shape. I can see why you are, lacking motivation. I can see why, because you don't take your life serious. And most people don't. Most people just exist. They let life happen to them. They can't tell you what they're doing tomorrow, aside from like working or going to school. And that's if they're doing that, because they believe that either going to school or working is all they need to do. If I'm working, I'm doing my part. I'm going to school. What else? I don't need to do anything else, I've been setting up plays, planting seeds for the longest. For example, let's go to the financial key of area of life. In 2018, an ounce of silver was $15. And they had specials where you could basically buy 10 ounces of silver for $150 flat. And I was in school at the time. I was in college. Mind you, I was in school. I started this channel here. I started a couple channels, long story short. But when I was in school and I saw that silver was $15 an ounce, so many. Every time I had enough, they would let you do one per address. So I was like, I ordered one. Then I called my friend. I asked her to let me order some silver to her crib. I called another friend, let me order some silver to his crib. And, now, instead of being $15 an ounce, now silver is roughly $75, $80 an ounce. That's because I was planting seeds. See, nobody else wants to, not nobody else, let me not say that, but I don't want to plant seeds. And I'm trying to spread the message of you got to set yourself up for the future. You have to make your future self proud that your current self decided to take that extra step to set themselves up for success. School is great. Work is great. But how do you go beyond the average? No, let me say work is good, school is good. But how do you go above and beyond if you're not going to school to be like a doctor or a lawyer? Because then you pretty good financially. You know, 200,000 a year, 250, 300, whatever they gonna make, 200 plus, let's say. You making that, you really don't need to do anything else. But if you go into school for like journalism, social work, things like that, and you have no other plan other than just going for these majors, you have to step out of the box and do more. You have to, especially if you live in California or New York. You can't just depend on a $40,000, $60,000, $70,000 job, annual salary a year. You can't. That's why financial is important. Career is important. You got to have goals in these areas. What are your goals for your credit? What are your goals for your job? What are your goals for your salary? What are your goals for your investments? You know? Like, you got to really think ahead. And that's one of the things I'm seeing people can't do. I can share. I have an 11-year plan on how I want to go about life over the next 11 years. Obviously, nothing is set in stone. Things always take a turn and you'll have to pivot. Like Mike Tyson says, everybody got a plan until they get punched in the face, but at least you have a plan, you know? And if you don't get punched in the face, then at the end of the day, you can stay the course. Good morning, good morning. So how do you stick to your plan? And then how do you pivot if something deters or something steps in to where you have to take a detour? Well, you have a backup. In my plan, I literally have backup plans, you know, because not everything is promised. I could walk across the street right now and get hit by a bus. I could go to work right now and then they fire me for something silly. I'm at will, so nothing is promised. You know, somebody could lie on me and then jeopardize my whole reputation or whatever. Anything there's always any possibility that exists in the world. So we're not going to make it seem like everything is concrete, but you have to have a plan because the odds of these things happening are very low. The odds of the negative things happening are very low. So if you have a plan to set you up for success in the future without anything going awry, then you're good. But as always, you know, we got to thank y'all for being here because you could have been anywhere else on the internet, but you're here with me, and I appreciate that. We are approaching the end of the Rail to Rail, live from Los Angeles, here on the 759 channel. You know, we got to thank y'all for being here because you could have been anywhere else on the internet, but you're here with me, and I appreciate that. As always, beautiful people, until next time, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.